figure out how to do the snow. I'm just so happy with it. It looks great, doesn't it? I love snow. Snow is my favorite. I don't know about snow is my favorite thing about winter. Right, tonight we're going to be making coasters with gem duo beads. I got all sorts of things. We are going to be adding. Let's design the colors together. So I'm going to tell you what colors I have in my lounge and what I really want to sort of make with, and then we're going to design the colors together. And then we're gonna sew. I'm gonna show you how to sew it through. And next week I need to make another. Is it 3 on the pack or 4? Let me just have a look. Another 3 or 4. Just grab the pack. I thought I brought them closer, but I haven't. So I got to make. I bought these lovely. Lovely molds, and we're going to pour them in resin. So this one is a little bit too small. I would probably need one more row need to make it one more row bigger, but it was good as a practice piece. Right, so if you are watching through Facebook, we are going to be turning Facebook on and off in a couple of minutes. So at the top you got the link. Head over, press on that link and head over and come into YouTube so we can all watch it together on YouTube, because this creation station is for YouTube only. We're doing it for YouTube. However, I always pop on Facebook just to let you know that I'm here, and you can come and watch and join in fun. So we're going to design a coaster together. We're going to design the colors together, and then we are going to, I'm going to show you how to make it. And next week, if everything goes right and I'm able to make the other 3 so I can pour 4 together, we're going to pour it in resin. Now this is going to be not my, I have worked with resin before, but not for a very long time. So we're talking about at least 6-8 years the last time I used resin. So I'm going to have to read everything up again how to do it, but we're going to pour it in resin, and this is going to be the coasters for my new lounge. Good evening everybody. I hope you had a fantastic day. So if you are on Facebook, then head over with the link at the top and come in on YouTube, and that's where we are going to be having the fun. I'm just going to start laying out my beads, sort of what colors I would like to use. I love the blues and sort of the greys. The lounge it's got blue walls, very similar color to this one, but I turn you down. And I'm going to show you, but it's also got sort of a darky browny grey carpet. The fireplace is going to be black, so I just sort of want to match all those colors together. And today actually I found a very nice coffee table, which is going to be a wooden color with black legs. So that's the colors used in there. Right, so I can see that you're coming over to YouTube, so please do at the top click on the link, and that will take you to YouTube and the YouTube feed so you can watch it all together. I'm gonna go ahead and turn Facebook off now. I just wanted to come in to show you so you can get the link and come in and we can design together. I'm so excited because this is something that actually I really wanted to do for a very long time. So goodbye Facebook, and we will be live on Facebook actually tomorrow at 10 a.m. It will be Sarah, but goodbye for now, and if you like to come over to YouTube, the link is above. Right, I think that's it. I think Facebook is gone. Right, so how's everybody? Kentish person, where is Kitti? I'm here. Oh, S. Grant is saying, hello Kitti, it's taken a while but finally managed to catch a live. Hello Kitti. Lorna is saying, good evening Lorna. Brenda, Janet, Debbie, Alison, Joe, Lucy, Diana, Kentishbury, Joe, Julie, Caroline. Oh, Karen is saying, evening Kitti, find you on YouTube. Good evening Betty. Right, okay, so let's get started. I'm going to turn you down. Let's work out our colors because I You know me, I like to blend colors and work with as much colors as we can, but when I turn you down, you will see, I think it will be better if we have more color in it. Let me just turn the light up a little bit so you can see better here. I think it will be better if we have more color in it. So I'm in more color, that each one of those rows is a different color. So we can either, I would either do, let's just zoom this in a bit more. I would either do one color for each row, or I would do 2 rows as one color. Maybe we could try both because they're quite quick to make up, so we can go ahead and make them up. Canterbury saying, upset, my icicle have arrived. Do you mean that they haven't arrived, lovely, or do you mean they there? Hi Smoffy, hi Joe. Patricia says she's found on YouTube as well. Brilliant, you all here. Very great. Right, so what shall we do? Shall we do one color for each row, or shall we have one color for every 2 rows? So at the moment I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bear in mind we are going to have this by the way will be upside down, so when we looking at the coasters, we are haven't arrived. I'm sure they should be on the way soon. I can't really comment on anything order related because I don't deal with it and I haven't got access to the back end of the website either, so I wouldn't be able to have a look. We might be able to get away with 10, and then that will go right to the edge. Then if we add 10, that will go right to the edge. So shall we do one color for each row, or shall we do two rows per color? Do let me know, what do you want me to do? And in the meantime, I'm going to start to put the colors out. So the colors, I definitely want to add this in it. Let's just zoom out a little bit so we can see the colors. I definitely want to add this really nice silvery color. Oh, and the best thing of it as well, so at the dinner table, Simon tonight said to me like, oh, what are you doing tonight? And I said, oh, well, we're just going to make this coaster with gem duos. And he was like, would you like a voucher code for gem duos, please? And I said, oh yeah, yes please. And I'm thinking like, you are in a good mood today. So he's given us a voucher code which is CS10, and if you put that in the Totally Beads website, when you check out, any gem duos you have in the basket will have 10% off. We'll give you 10% off on it. So I want to use the grey ones. I want to use the silvery grey colors, maybe even that olivey color. I will pour some out just in a second so you can see. But we might be able to have like different variations, so slightly different colors can be different. I like this blue as well because that's got a nice haze about it. I like how you have done one color per row, Joe is saying. Oh, Smuffy is saying, I got 12 days today, so excited. Oh, great. I'm so excited for 12 days as well. I've been doing filming and doing all sorts of bits and pieces for that one. It has been, I'm so happy that it has been such a great success that I cannot tell you. How about this one? This AB finish, or maybe not. I cannot tell you how I'm really so happy that you loved it and love the idea of it. We definitely went backwards and forward with Sarah quite a few times, sort of trying to plan out what we're gonna do, how we're gonna do it. So I got purples here as well. Maybe we could make one with sort of these sort of colors. So my wall is not exactly that color, but it's very close to that color. It's got a little bit more green in it, not quite dark green, but perhaps if we add those colors to more like this color, I guess. That's the color of the wall. If you add them together, that would look really good. 2 rows, please, but if you look in every color, any color. I like the row where 2 shades of lilac, so they blend out. Yes, I think that's quite nice as well. Well, let's try it with 1 row per color, so we need to choose about 9 or 10 colors in a row, and then it will be really quick to run around this one. because I'm going to pour resin over it, so I don't really need to reinforce the rose that much as well, as long as I keep a really nice and tight tension. And actually, now just looking at it, I could even put all sorts of different patterns in there as well, but that's for the future, I guess. Right, let's add a silver somewhere here. Maybe like that, going towards the black. I definitely want this color in it, and I definitely want these blues in it. So if I choose, maybe if I choose all of those, I got my 10 colors. So I'm gonna go, yeah, I think that will look quite nice going outwards. So shall we have, I'm gonna have the black right in the middle and then coming out, sort of getting lighter. So my rose sort of, the black's gonna be right in the middle, and the rose towards the middle gets lighter, and then it goes into the blue on that side, because that is the color what you see most, which what I really wanted for that side. So let's stick with that. I'm just looking if, just in case I got a better color than this to match, to go in between those two. I need like a turquoisey color, but I think that's too light. Good evening, Dorothy. Your names doesn't show here. Yeah, I know. YouTube is completely different with names than the names you get on Facebook is your, like, your profile name, and on YouTube you could be called anything you like. That's the same color as that. I got this one. I think that's too blue as well if you put that in the mix. Is this one the same? That's the same as that one. I'm gonna leave that in then. Let's leave it in. That's the same. Yes, that's the same as well. I grabbed sort of a bag, or maybe go with this darker one. That might be. I'll put those two there, and we see once we get to those colors, we can just sort of test it and see. Now, because I'm going through a whole lot of colors here, the thread, where's my threads? The thread I'm going to be using a grey thread. Have I got a grey thread separately? No. I'm going to have to use it off, or this darker one, this charcoaly color, maybe. That might be, because they're quite darker. Let's use a charcoal then. Will disappear in between. Right, I got some needles. I got some new needles, so I got some straight needles today. Because last week I was getting down to my last 6 needles. Right, I don't need those scissors. So we're going to start with the black. How shall we put this out so we know what I'm going to do? Because I only need a certain number of beads from each bag. So what I am going to do is, yeah, the shade Lustrous would be quite nice like that as well. No, let's put that lightest one to brighten up, and then so I'm only going to take one, only going to have one color out at a time. What about magic line grey to finish with? I haven't got any magic line grey. I'm not really sure what you mean. Is that like a color of beads? Do let us know. Need a golly, maybe Goldie. You start. I want, because the most of the color you're gonna have, the middle one you don't really see it that much. The most of the color you're going to have is going to be the outside ones, and I want those ones to be blue, sort of to go with the theme in the lounge. So I'm going to go, that's why I want to put sort of greys. If I had a matte black properly, that would be the best. Let me just have a look. Have I got a matte black in my stash here? Because that would be better than a shiny black. It is black, but it's not. The matte black is not as black as the shiny black. Does that make sense? I'll grab it out in a minute and you can see. A color of gem jewelry. I don't really usually when I refer to colors, I remember the code numbers more than the names. I'm rubbish with names, like any names, even if like the person's names I can never remember, and the same with colors as well. I do remember, like I do know, like black diamond or rose gold. There's some of them that I use all the time. I will remember of those, but otherwise I will remember the color number much easier. Like I know that's 2700. That the silver is. So I do know. I get the colors like that. Right. Let's start with. Oh. Let's have a look. Have we got, what is that? Oh, I might just have something. No, that's green. No, I thought I had something, but I haven't. Let's do with the black one. I'm sure it will be all right. Let's have a look. Right, so I'm going to start by picking up 6. And what I need to make sure that I have them all sitting exactly the same way. So I usually like to line them up on my mat. And then I know I can pick them up in exactly the same way. So all facing the same way. All these gem duos have a front and a back to them. So like I just want to make sure, I don't want to have, as I'm going around in my pattern, to have one bead like turned around and the rest of them facing the right way. So I always make sure I line them up on my mat, and then I can pick them up like I'm picking them up all on the bottom hole, and I know they're going to be sitting together straight because I lined them up. So I'm going to take this down all the way on my thread. Now I'm not going to knot my beginning and end together, and actually I'm going to take a little bit more thread here, as much as I can, because I think it's going to be quite a thread hungry project. And then I'm going to go through all of those beads again, all the holes. So let's move those ones out. Now I'm not going to knot the beginning and end together. Usually we do start by knotting our base row to have a firm base, but I will explain this towards the end of it, that if you knot your beginning and end together now, all you do is you tighten these first row together, and if you tighten this up too much, your beading can buckle later on. Oh, I got good evening, Edward. Caroline saying I'm Carol on Facebook, but my real Sunday name on YouTube. Lord bless you. That's a beautiful palette. Hopefully it will work out fine. Let's see. Let's just keep adding the colors in, and then we see how we're going to work out. I'm going to go through a few more beads, so just to have a nice and strong base, so my thread is not going to travel backwards from the tail. So eventually I went through all of the beads, not just twice, but I'm going through the 3rd time now, and then I'm going to leave it there and jump up and turn around. So let's go through 1 more or 2 more, so we away from the tail. I never like to start my beading right next to the tail, so I can pull it up. Right, so I pulled it up nice and tight. I went around all of the beads 3 times, so it's a really nice and strong base, and I'm going to turn my thread around. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come through the same gem do I'm coming at, but I'm going to come through the top hole and not along. I have jumped up a row. I sort of had to turn direction as well at the same time. Yes, I was afraid of this. If I take extra long thread, my thread is gonna start to be naughty and start knotting up. Right, so we don't need the black beads anymore, so I'm gonna put the black one away and get the next color out, which is like, I'm not sure which one shall we go next, but I'm gonna go with, I think I'm gonna go with the hematite color because that's just slightly darker. And so now I'm going to start picking up my next row. Now a good tip here is pop your beadwork down on your mat and then see where your thread is coming out from. Just add the next bead where it should be going there, and we're going to add this here. In fact, we're going to add 2 into that gap at this stage, but just see where you're going to putting it in and how is it going to fit through. So now you know you're going to have to go through these 2 holes at the top and then go along the next gem duo on your row and pull this up nice and tight. And then I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to go ahead and pick up another 2. Because I've been working with gem duos quite a lot and super duos, all sort of duo beads, I naturally let's put the tail to the back because I don't want the tail at the front. I'm naturally kind of picking up the right way. I'm just going to pull it up, make sure it's untwisted, and keep on going. So I'm adding my next row in now. I think we're going to get lighter colors in just in a minute, and then it's going to show up even better. But at the moment I'm just adding 2. Brandy's asking daft question. There is no daft questions at all, my lovely. It's all, there's no silly question at all. What side is going to be when you end up? So if you mean to when I pour the resin over this I'm going to have to set it in side down just like that, and then when it comes out of the mold it's going to be the right way up, because the mold has got this little lip so your glasses can't slide off of it. But I'll tell you what, I will get, when we pour this and finish them, then I will get you the links which one I got and where I got them from. So if you want, if you wished, you could get the same. I got the resin from the place what Sarah recommended, and I'm going to do the penny table with it as well. So I'm going in the next and the next. I'm almost all the way around, and from, so the first row, the very middle one, we had 6. On this one we are going to have 12 because we doubled every single one of them, but the one after that we're going to have 18, and I will show you where you got sort of a thinner and a thicker gap here. So now I'm right down to the bottom, and I'm going to go through this last gem duo. I like to go through one section before I turn around, just so that I have a nice and strong beading. So I'm going to go through these 2, 1, 2, next black, just to carry myself around a little more. If I make this into a pendant, or if I'm making something like this where this is going to be the finished piece, then what I like to do is to go around this one more time all the way around to tighten it all up. So I'm just going to go through the next hematite color, and I'm going to turn my thread around by coming back through the same bead just there. So I'm going to go through just by, I've got a drink here, thank you. Can you take it please? Thank you. And I'm gonna go through and come back. So I'm ready for my 3rd row. So I'm gonna pop these hematite ones away. And when you're working stuff like this, when you're using with multicolor, yes, you will be using 2 pieces, and I hope I got enough. So I'll in the end I went out and I got I found a table which I was gonna use I got a very old table outside on a veranda, and it's a round table and it's been there forever, and that's where I wanted to do the penny table with, and I've been talking about that for the last 2 years. I'll tell you more about just in a minute. So let me just start this row. So here we got a thinner gap and we got a thicker gap. So when you got a thinner gap, you're only going to be picking up 1 gem duo. Where you got a thick gap, you're going to be picking up 2 gem duos. And all the way around you go again. Make sure they are sitting the right way. So they're all facing up. And then you are good to go. So in this row, now we're adding 18 of the gem duos. and I'm pulling this up. I love this because like you obviously once you get to the outer circles you're gonna be adding a lot more, so this shows me that my thread is twisted, but from the middle each color you're only going to be using very small amounts. Right, I'm going to untwist this thread, so I'm going to hold my needle up, right up. I'm going to put the thread, I'm going to hold it in my index finger and thumb and just pull it down. Right, and just, can you see how it is spinning? That's because the thread was twisted, and that's why we're getting it knotted. So by untwisting it, we're reducing. That's good. I think it's all gone. So when I put my next one in and pull it through, hopefully we shouldn't get that twist. See how nice and easy our thread is to work with now? So that's a really good tip. So if your thread is keep knotting up, then that's all you have to do. So a penny table, going back to the penny table, is I don't think actually I've seen one in real life. I've seen them on the internet for like the last 2 years now, and I really would like to make one. So what they do, they cover the table with 1 penny, 2 pennies, whatever sort of material you want to use. It could be anything, you know, if you wanted to cover it, because you could kind of cover it with pound coins, but it would be a very expensive table then. So I choosing the 2 penny because it's a little bigger than the penny, and I think it will look nicer. So you glue all your pennies down to the top of the table, and then you pour resin over it so it holds all the sort of pennies inside the resin. Now you need a heat resistant resin if it's a coffee table, just in case if you put any hot mugs or anything down on there, you're not gonna get the ring mark, and it's not gonna discolor or anything like that. And I got the resin a couple of weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, whenever Sarah did her thing on her Facebook showing you lot, she was making a coaster and all sorts of different pieces, and I just got myself into a knot here. I ordered the resin, and the resin was, I think what I need is about £80, and then I was thinking like I'm gonna be putting like, I don't know, 30-40 pounds worth of pennies on there. The resin is very expensive, so do I really want to put this on this very old table, or shall I look around for a table which is, because the legs of that table outside, it doesn't really look good, so I would have to paint it and do all sorts of things to it. So if I'm going to renovate it and do and add all this money onto it, maybe I should start with a table which is slightly looks a little bit better. So I found one around the corner from work. There is a another warehouse, and they sell all sorts of furniture, and I found a table in there the other day. I picked it up today, so I'm going to be doing the penny table on that one, and I'm going to be doing it between Christmas and New Year's. I'm definitely, even if I'm not doing any beading, what's going on with this thread, I will do that table. Right, out. That's it. I think we should be good now. That's it. Pull it up. Right, let's keep going. Does this need to be untwisted a bit more? Is that why you are going twisted? It will be very heavy when it's finished. I'm not sure, because the resin is not too heavy. The pennies could be, yes. Maybe we will see. I'll let you know, but I really can't wait. It's one of those things, and then I don't even know, I might make it and I hate it. I probably won't, but it's one of those things what you're wanting to do like for a long time, and then you finally get to do it. So now I got no excuse, because now I got a table, I got the resin, I even got the pennies. Yeah, I had the pennies for a long time, because from where we are, we used to walk up to Walton and go into the amusement park on the pier with the kids, and like we all used to get pennies, and then we didn't used to spend the 2p pennies. I used to bring them home for my penny tables anytime when I had a 2p coin in my bag. So I was probably collecting all these pennies for the last 5 years or so, or 3 years, 3, 4, 5 years. So it's a long time coming. Right, I need to move the needle down. Right, I'm almost done with this color as well, and I can just see I made a mistake here. Instead of adding 2, I added 1. So very quickly I'm gonna have to take it back. That's it, me getting excited and chatting about my penny table. So what do we think so far? Is it looking good? I almost finished. This is the thing, when you go round, and then you find it at the last, almost the last place. So you made a mistake right towards the beginning, but I'm very quickly gonna bead this back up. So this is where the mistake is. So from now on, it's always, when you got the wider gap, you add 2, and then you starting to have a thinner gap where you just add 1. Right, we are back the right place. 1 and another 1. Sometimes when I go around like this, I would not pull my thread all the way through. I would pick up the next bead, then go along. It would be nice to get some nice and new pennies to put between the orbs on, absolutely. So I've been looking, and I have tested a couple of methods how to clean your pennies. I have tried Coke, because they say that like Coke can clean the pennies. It did shine it up quite a bit, but it wasn't quite good enough. So that method didn't really work. Then somebody else suggested to use ketchup, which is, again, there is acid in the ketchup, and that's what sort of eats away the dirt on the top of the pennies. The method I think I'm gonna go with, and I'm gonna have to clean them all at the same time, so they sort of will have the same shine on them, which is vinegar and salt solution, and that will that's apparently the best. I haven't tried it on, I tried it on a couple of them, I haven't tried it on all of them, and when I did the tester piece, it came up really nice. So it's vinegar and salt, and I'm at the end, so I'm just adding the last one. I'm gonna go through the next section, so I'm not turning around right where I am. Lauren is saying vinegar, yes. So that vinegar tip came from they used to clean the copper cooking pans, and they used to put vinegar and salt on it, and that's how they cleaned it, and it really works. Oh, Brenda's saying, I didn't know they sold tables in the warehouse. Maybe have a look. You know which one I'm talking about, Brenda. The one around the corner, Cult Furniture, which is used to be in unit, I don't know, as you drive in our in our estate at work, as you drive in on the right hand side, and then they moved sort of further up on the road, but that's the one I'm talking about. So this one we just did, we added 18. The next row we're gonna have to add 24. So the next row I'm gonna add silver in. I'm gonna turn around again as I would turn around normally, coming back through the same bead, and I'm gonna picking up the silver. And I think this row is really gonna show up because the silver is really shiny and much lighter. I think it's going to look great. Coca-Cola cleans pennies brilliantly. So I didn't have Coca-Cola because I don't like, we have Pepsi usually, and the Pepsi didn't really clean the pennies that much. I tried a couple of them. It wasn't really a great. Oh, did I do it the wrong way? Oh, yes. So now it's not picking up one and then picking up two. You have to pick up one twice, and then in the next turn, that's where we're gonna pick up two. So the row before we had picked up one and then picked up two, then picked up one, picked up two. Here we're gonna pick up one, then we're gonna pick up one, then we're gonna pick up two. But you will know, and I bring this up and show you, so some places you have got a larger gap like here, and next door you have smaller gap, large gap, small, large, small, small, large. There you go, all the way around. So you will see where you're going to be needing adding two and where you're going to be needing adding one. Do it outside when you're doing a lot of coins. Smells strong when the vinegar and salt gets to work on the copper. So the plan is that I'm going to put them in a Tupperware box and basically put the top on it and then come back to it later. I've got one of these, an old sort of discolored Tupperware box, which I it's quite big. I keep it and use it for crafty occasions. Make sure the tail is at the back. And there we go. So I always say start with as long thread as you can handle, and I think I just started with a bit too much thread, because like joining threads, it always takes so much time. So I'm trying to bead everything with one thread, but sometimes it doesn't work because you're spending more time trying to untangle it than you would have spent joining a new thread in. Just almost halfway around. Let's make sure this tail is out of the way. Actually, I'm going to cut this tail off because I'm not going to need really a long tail here. I'm only going to need enough to work that off later on. And keep on going around. Hi Gwen. Have you checked you got enough pennies? So the table which was outside, in the summer we put all the pennies on the top of it, and it was enough for that one. So I'm gonna check. I only brought home this table, this coffee table today, so I'm gonna check it and see if it's gonna be enough for this one. If not, then I'm gonna be going to the bank tomorrow, and usually people take pennies in to change it up to larger change, and I'm going to be taking money to change it to pennies if I need to get any more, because I must get it done now. That's it, no more excuses. I have to get it done. Just pull this tail out of the way. Right, one, added two beads, so now I'm adding one. And I'm adding another one. I think that silver really going to show up now. That's going to look great. So has any of you worked with resin before? Do let me know in the comments if you worked with resin, because then we could sort of brainstorm it what will be the best way to do it. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to FaceTime Sarah and ask her, like, help, what do I do here? And adding one. I mean, it's just reading the label, right, and following the instructions what's on the bottle, but I'm such a rascal. I sort of wing it, and I always only read the instruction when something goes wrong. Like, that's where I went wrong. It's like Simon, he likes to read, like every single time he gets the pizza out or gets anything out of the freezer, he reads the cooking instructions. Right, adding another one, and then I got to add 2. And we are almost around with this color. Joyce saying, I made resin jewelry and nail art palettes. So I do my own nail as well, and I do gel on my nails, and I do thicken them up. As you can see, I put like sort of like a filler on. They're all my own nails. They're not fake nails at all, but I put a filler underneath the color to make my nails stronger. Otherwise, my nails would chip everywhere, would be chipped all the time. But it takes me quite a long time to work with it and do my nails, and I do like it. It's just, I think it's what you used to and what you did before. And with resin, when I did resin before, I just did these little pendants. Actually, I need to get some out, and I need to take a picture and show it to you. And I did some like marbled coloring underneath it, and I just added the resin on the top. But I remember I was gonna make loads of these pendants, but I remember that I did it. We were in the old house, and we had quite a, so we cut the garage in half, and the back of the garage we turned into a laundry room, and I did it in the laundry room there. So it was quite sort of a good sized laundry room. I could have put up a 6-foot table quite easily in front of the window, and we were doing it, I was doing it there, and it stunk the whole place out. And I'm telling you, it was horrendous. The house smelled this resin was, and it was the had the window open, but it's even sort of overnight it didn't go away. I think it was there for a few days. So I'm turning my thread around, so I'm just gonna go to the same gem duo came out and put it down. I think that's coming together very nicely. I'm going to put the silver away and get the next color out. And saying I haven't so far, but I'm memorized and trying to watch with interest. Lauren is saying, no, I have not tried resin. It looks good. I think resin come a very long way in the last few years, and especially in the last couple of years, it's come a long way. So I'm going back again. I'm making sure I'm picking them up the right way, and all I'm doing is just filling that gap. I haven't added any other beads. I'm only adding the gem doors. So the last row we had 24, and this row we're gonna need 30. So every single row it gets bigger by 6 gem duos, goes up by 6. I suppose we could do all sorts of different colors on there. You could do patterns, different patterns as well. We got a gem duo here, which the hole doesn't go all the way through. Right, let's try to ping it out before anything happens. Right, I'm gonna find a, I run into a problem. Sometimes this happens with the plated one. Can you see on the gem duo there is no hole? I can see the hole was sort of pushed out, but not. Or pico color would be nice. Oh, that would be lush as well. I'm gonna try. I will try to push it through so we don't have to take it back, but I need a slightly thicker needle to be able to do this, because otherwise this one's just going to bend on it. So to do that, what I usually do is I just put the needle down on the table, or like if you're on a mat, you make sure it's nice and solid surface, stick it into that bead and just sort of try to, this is, I can do it on a table, try to sort of then pop them, both of them. I can see it's working because this needle is coming through. Sometimes it's maybe something blocking the hole, sometimes the glass quite not, no, it doesn't go anymore. Oh, don't tell me I'm gonna have to take it all the way back. This, you get one bead out of 1,000 like this, and I usually, it's not gonna go through. That hole is just too small. Sometimes only the hole blocked, and then you can push it. Annie's saying, sorry, my post went away. I was saying I haven't tried resin yet, but I'm sorely tempted, so I'm watching with interest. So I'm gonna, this is not really, doesn't really want to go through. Maybe now, let's have a look. I think no, it's not, it doesn't want it. So unfortunately, on this case, there's nothing really you can do. We're gonna have to go back and take that bead off, that bead. Usually as I go through, I check my beads. Oh, that's what's disappointment. It would be quicker to bead a new one up, and I might just do that. I might just start another one because it's pretty much the same time. We're taking back and redoing it, then starting a new one. Oh no, should I just continue? It'll be quick. I'll be quick. I just chat less. I need some sort of song behind, and I can just concentrate on and do the adding the beads very, very quickly. Oh no, actually, I think so. If you came that way, this is the one which has got the problem. Actually, I think, oh, thanks God. So because we turned our thread path around, it's not all the way around, it's only a few beads in that row. Phew. So this is the naughty one. Yes, it's going straight to the bin. Just taking it off now. So it happens to everybody. Oh, that's good. I was I was afraid I have to go back all the way around. Brandy's saying that's had happened to her in a few occasions. It's I find it's usually the plated beads that what does that. It's just an odd one, but I rarely find one, maybe 1 in 1,000, which would happen. But you can see that it happens to everybody, happens to even me. I'm gonna need one more of that silver then. Naughty bead, yes, very naughty bead. Just take a quick sip of my drink. My last pack I had 2, which were in half. Sometimes I find like some runs are better, and then you get a batch which is not so great. It's just depending on the, but you know, like it's quite interesting the ordering beads and doing certain things. So some of the manufacturers, like some of like Miyuki and I don't know if Toho does it as well, but I know Miyuki definitely does it, that they only make certain colors in certain time of the year, because it's depending on the temperature outside, that how they can control the bead and the color of the bead. I don't know if Czech Republic does that as well, but I have heard that some of the factories do that. Right, we are back in business. Let me just go through this one, and then we're going to turn around and start adding our beads, and hoping we haven't got another naughty bead anywhere. So I'm going to pick up one and go through the next. I'm going to pick up another. So I'm going to do probably about, pick up all 3 of them on this stretch, and then I'm going to pull it up just to sort of speed up a little bit. I often do this when I'm doing a straight pattern, just sort of even peyote stitch or something like that, and pulling it together. So I, with the what takes the longest is pulling the beads, pulling your needle and thread through, and I'm going to untwist this thread again, because that could be that it's got twisted. I'm going to untwist. I went backwards this time, so I'm untwisting towards the end of my thread, and then I'm picking up 2 and keep going. So 1, 2, going into the next one, Alice was saying your beads and thread is not behaving tonight. I don't think it's just the beads and thread, I think it's me as well. It's so like, I was talking to it was somebody today, and he was like, we are so close to Christmas, like it's next week, right? And usually by this time I got everything sorted. We have got the tree up, but we're gonna have to make alterations because the kids decorated it. And to start with, we didn't have enough silver baubles, I think, so we're gonna make some. I bought some miracle beads home today, and I think we're gonna make some runners which are gonna look really good on there. But I'm gonna have to decorate that a bit more. But usually by this time I've done the presents. Usually they're wrapped up. And in our house, what we do, we got a number system. So instead of writing from who and to who on the present, what I do, I just stick a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on onto the present. And in my phone, I have a note, or well, you don't have to have it in your phone. You could have it in anywhere, saying that who is the present from and who is it to. So and the minute they wrapped up and the number is on them, I stick them under the tree. So the kids forever guessing who is that present from and who is the present to and whose is whose. And I do mess with them, because one year I deliberately wrapped up Christopher's present, Christopher's in a princess wrapping up paper, and Lucy's in a Cars one, and they were thinking that they were guessing that because it's all Cars paper, that's all Christopher's, and it was just really great fun. I think we all have our little traditions. Lorna is saying, I find if I give my thread a little stretch when I thread my needle, it seems to stop it tangling. Oh, I tried that. I've never ever tried that one before. So I'll try that. There you go, ladies. That's something to try tonight, to give your thread a little stretch before you start beading when you're threading your needle. Has anybody else tried that? Oh, we used to do that when the children were little. Then we would have a ruffle on them on Christmas morning. Oh, bless. I do the same, Lorna Caroline is saying. I think it's as many houses, as many traditions. That is just sort of, because like in our previous house, it was like sort of quite a small house, and then I didn't really have anywhere to hide the presents, so I had no choice but to sort of come up with or do some things, and then I had to hide them in so many different places when I was hiding them. And I'm not joking, I was finding presents in February which I hid, and I didn't know where I hid it. So that's why we started that system. The minute I buy something, I wrap it up straight away and it goes under the tree, and that's it, and then it's done and dusted, and there's no hiding, there is nothing needed, it's all there and ready for Christmas. Just pulling it through. I'm almost around again, and then as you can see, each row, as you're adding a color on it, it's taking longer and longer to run around. So in this one we were adding 30 beads. So the next row we're going to be adding 36, and the row after that we're going to be adding 42, then 48, 54 and 60, the last one. So one bag of gemstones usually sold by a 10-gram bag. So, and 10 grams is about 70 gem duos. So you would be able to do a whole row with one bag of color, but you're going to have loads of the middle rows. I think that's colors coming together quite nicely, so you could make loads more. Right, so can somebody add this up together? How many gem duos are we going to have in the whole project? So we're going to start with 6. Or let's add it together, but do tell me if I go wrong with the math. Is the evening. So 6, first row there is 6 in it. Second row there is 12, so that's 18. The third row we have 18, so 18 plus 18 is 24. Is 36. In the next row you got 24, so that's 60. The next row you got 30, which is the row I'm in, so that's 90. So at the moment we have 90 beads on our coaster, so just over one bag of beads, and it's knotted up again. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with this thread. I think I should just, I don't know, I'm going to throw the bobbin in a bin. What's going on? Let's just grab a pair of pliers so I can pull it a bit better. Let's just stick it in there. Oh, come on. Happy days. Oh, I think, is that it? No, that's not it. Right, it's pulled through now. That's it, we're good to go. This naughty thread, okay, I'm going to pop that down. This needle is bent a little bit at the end as I was trying to undo it, so I'm just going to cheat. I'm going to unbend it a little bit with my pliers, just straighten it up. And then there is our knot, which we are not going to have on there. We're going to undo it. That's it. So I'm ready for the next color. The next color is going to be a little bit sort of an olivey. I actually haven't got anything brown. I could have put, instead of that one, now just thinking for a second, because I got browns in the lounge as well. I could add bronze in there, but I think that's a nicer color. That's a nicer color. I'm going to pop these silver ones away. I love this silver. This is called Suited Gold Cloud Dream, and it's really a very much of a dream color. So it's not really gold, it's not really silver, it's something in between, which is then it's great to use with everything. Lorna is saying, when my children were little, we had a lucky dip box with presents for everyone, a game, a DVD, a puzzle, and then we couldn't agree on what to do or what to watch. The lucky dip decided saved a lot of trouble. That's really good idea, Lorna. So we used to have a goodie box years and years and years ago. So if the children were little, then they can go and choose something from the goodie box, which was filled with stuff like, you know, bit of Lego bag or a coloring book, on all sorts of little bits of pieces in there, and they used to love it. But we haven't had the goodie books for quite a few years now, I guess. But that's a really good idea. So what we usually do, because I'm originally from Hungary, and in Hungary we would celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve. That's when we would celebrate, we would have our main family meal together, just the immediate family. And what we would do is that's when we would give the presents in Hungary. So here, obviously, Christmas Day is Christmas Day. So for my husband, he was like, no, we are in England, we live in England, so we need to follow English traditions. So what we decided to do, that the children can have one present on Christmas Eve, which is usually a board game or something like that, and then we can all play together. So yeah, I haven't actually bought them a board game this year, so I need to pop out and have a look around still. I just really haven't had time, and I think they're just sort of trying to be careful and everything. Right, and online shopping is great, but you really, I find that when I shop online, I only buy the stuff I need or want. And if I go into the range or even in Tesco's or anywhere, you keep picking up things where you didn't really want it, but you pick it up because it's there and it's on offer and it's right in front of you. Oh, she's doing the same for grandchildren now, Lorna is saying. That's great. You know, I think all these traditions, what we start or what we do it because our parents did it, or I think it's really, really great. So can you see that how much that bigger is that now? So if I put this one next door to it, it's still quite small, but it's growing very, very quickly by each row. So there's going to be 36 bead of this color in this row now. So if you think about it, these are the sort of the 6 corners of it. That's where you add the 2, and everywhere else you only add 1. Good evening, Julie. So we are making the coaster. We're just adding bead by bead. We are adding to it, going all the way around. And we're talking Christmas. Oh, Brandy's saying she had a good intention of wrapping today. She's beaded instead. I'm with you, Brenda. I would rather do beading than wrapping. I did so many wrapping in my life, and I never forget that when I properly, like, none of you know this, I used to be a nanny a long time ago, and I worked for this American family. And the mom, like, they crazy. They had so many presents for the kids that just like they were just so much presents. So she was hiding everything in the laundry room, but nothing was wrapped up. And they went away just before Christmas, and they went skiing and they came back. And anyway, she told me, she's given me all this wrapping up paper, and she told me which sort of box or which pile is whose, and can I wrap it up. And oh my word, I was wrapping presents for 2 days straight. There was like so many little things because she wanted to wrap everything separately. I was just like, no way. And I think that really put me off for wrapping for the rest of my life. Because when you do it for yourself, or when you do it for your sort of children, getting children, family, or mom or dad, you are just sort of, you're doing it as the best as you can. But when you're doing it for somebody else, there's really a pressure to make it look like really nice. Yes, the number of beads go up by 6 in every single row. So the smallest one is 6, then 12, 18, 24, 30, and we're doing 36 now. So at the moment, once we go all around this circle, we're going to have 126 beads on our coaster. And then it's going to be adding 42 after that. And all the way around. I mean, if you think about it, we are using quite a lot of colors, but right, so let's count this up. So this row, when we finish this row, it's gonna be 126, and then the row after that is going to be 42, so that's 180, no, 168. And 168, and then we need to add 48 to it, so that's 176, 218. Well, you can, I guess, you can make it as big as you want to. You don't have to have it all the way to the edges. You could have just resin, or you can add glitter to it as well on the side. So you don't have to do it all the way. So that's 218. Please do correct me if I'm not right, because doing math at this time of the night, I should get the calculator out. That would be so much easier. So after the 48, 218, so this was, we need one or two more colors. Can somebody do the math? I got all around with this color, so I'm just going to go through the next two. Right, so if somebody, 216, that's right, Lorna. So can we add the next row after that is going to be 54. So 216, 220, 270. Oh, bother. I only added one, and I should have added two. I'm concentrating too much on the numbers, and I'm not concentrating enough on my beading. Let's take it back. Let's hope this thread doesn't get, I didn't go through the thread, and I can just easily just step back in there. Oh yes, I did go through the thread. Whereabouts though? Let's see. Can I? No, it's easier to take it back rather than try to do stitch through. So 270. And how many more colors? So hold on, that was black was 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. This was 36. The next one is 42, 48, 56. So if you want to make this size, that would be, you would have 270 beads on there. If you want to add one more, then we need to add 60 to it, so it's going to be 330. 330 beads for 10 rows. That's how much we're gonna, oh, I'm trying to thread my needle and haven't even pulled it back, so that's how much we're gonna have to end up what's going on? Thread. I had enough of you, thread, tonight. What's going on with you? Doesn't really. Oh no, come on. I think I just like, definitely I'm gonna have to chuck this thread. I'm just not impressed with this one. And usually, like, Superlon is so good and I use it all the time with no problem whatsoever. And tonight, it just really letting me down and showing me up. So going back to our numbers, so 270 if you do 9 rows, 330 if you do 10 rows, and in a 10-gram bag you usually get 70 or 70 odd beads in there. So I reckon 470, 143, 20, four bag of gem doors will do you one coaster. Just as a ballpark figure. Oh god, this has been working out maths tonight and night time. Let's untangle this thread as well. Let it straighten it out. Actually, I'm going to do your little trick to pull it. See if that stops the tangling. Doing maths this time of the night is just not good. Right, and going through back into the last one, and then we're going to have to turn our thread around. That's it. So 270 for 9 rows, 330 to, so 3 or 4 bags of gem doors. That's all you need to make a coaster. But I'm just going to show you, so you could have like the star just in the middle and maybe just put a little bit of glitter or something around it. That would look really good as well. Right, I'm just going to go to next bead and then turn around. Just go right this one, and I'm going to turn around this one. So I'm going to put this color away, and the next one is more of like a ivory color. Ivory. I can't even talk straight tonight. What's going on with me? Ladies. Olive color. That's the word I was looking for. And you're going to add this one on here. Right, so I'm going to try to speed up now because we've got 3 more colors to do and I want to really finish it tonight with you. So next week we can pour it. I'm going to go ahead and bead. Hopefully I get some time to bead more up. I still got to sort out my craft room. I think I'm going to take me quite some time to sort out those beads. And then at the same time trying to get ready for Christmas and trying to tidy the house up and put the carpet cleaner around and that sort of stuff. So I love Christmas. It's a favorite time of my holiday because we get to do all the crafting and everything else, but it's the most exhausting holiday as well for me. So thank you, Lorna, for helping to work the numbers out. We managed to do it together. So what do we think so far of the colors? Do let me know if you like it or if you would have changed something on there or use a different color perhaps. Let me just put this and pop it down. What do we think so far? I think it looks great. I love the colors. So we're starting with a black one and going into this. And it's all for one day. Maybe after Christmas you could put some color bundles together to make the coasters. We could actually do that anytime, because I was talking to Simon about this the other day, because he looked at it and he actually really liked the pattern, and he said, oh, how many do you need to make one up? Maybe what we should do is to put, well, not exactly the right numbers in. I would add probably another 2 or 3 bead of each color in there, just in case if you run into that problem that one of them has got a hole. But we could definitely make some bundles up, because otherwise if you're gonna have to buy 10 different colors in the normal amount, that's really gonna be like, you know, I mean, you will be able to make more than one coaster, but if you are perhaps on your own, if you just want to make one, then we could do like have 8 and then 14, then instead of having 18 have 20 beads and so on, because with the scales at work they could quite easily measure it out and have 10 colors in there. You could reverse the colors as well. That's absolutely right, Janet. That's a really good idea. So if you did get that many, you could always reverse the colors and have another one, just starting with the sort of black will be on the outside, and you will have enough beads for that. But then you could do mixes, because as you see, we could do like little wedges in one color, or have the rose going, or we could have these V shapes, so we could do so many different things. So perhaps what I'll do, if I get a minute, if I get a minute between this week and next week, I'll do a PDF up with the design and like an empty, not colored in beads, and then you could download it and print it out and just color the beads in what color you want to add there, and you could make up your own patterns. I'm sure it wouldn't take me too long to do one, so I'll try to get it done next week. Do 2 one way and 2 the other way. Yeah, you could do that as well. You could do all sorts of different things in there. You could have like, you know, little diamonds in places in the middle, or if you wanted to, you could have instead of, you could have like a snowflake pattern in there. That would look really good as well, or all sorts of things. I'm just trying to go as fast as I can. Just making sure every time I want to pick up the right way. So has anybody made any beaded coasters here before? Has anybody done anything? Not necessarily like with gem duos, but any beads. You have enough to do in the next few days. I'm sure we can wait until the next year. Look, if I don't get it done, you know, it's like if it goes in the back of the queue, usually it's like it will be 6 months before I get around to it again. So I sort something out, because I think could be great. And I get Simon to have a look. It depends what colors they got in stock as well, because I'm not sure. And I want to try having 2 colors, and then, well, so 1 color for 2 rows, and then just using 5 colors instead of 10. How would that look? Because that might look good quite as well. Or what alternatively what we could do, so the first 2 rows could be 1 color, or and then as you get outwards and you're showing more of the color, then go down to 1 color per row. So could try that one out as well. You will remind me, you're gonna have to. It's like only if I had. I always like like when I always forget everything as I go around. I'm just like, I always say I got head like a sieve, and and then Simon, I don't know, often says like, oh, why didn't you remember, or why didn't you make a reminder? And I said, oh, only if I had somebody to remind me. And he said, well, you got your phone, you can set a reminder on that one. You can set a reminder on your laptop. You got Alexa, you can set a reminder on Alexa. You could like do anywhere. You could set a reminder anywhere. And I keep forgetting. If you just heard that Simon is laughing next door with Christopher, I think they're playing on the console. Right, we're almost around and done with this color. I'm really loving the colors as they're coming together. I think sometimes even like this one would perhaps like be 4 bags of gem duos, but I think it's worth it because it's gonna be that special one, and anybody will come around, gonna look at your coaster and gonna say, wow, that looks really good. And actually the coasters and placemats reminded me, I went into M&Co today because I bought a top the other day and it didn't quite fit me, so I took it back today. I went into M&Co today and they had these beaded coasters and placemats, and two, not 6, 2 placemats were at $19.99, and all it was is seed beads going around in a circular motion, round and round and round, and they had a red one, a silver one, yeah, the red and a silver one. So I thought that, wow, that's quite expensive because they're only seed beads and they're only cheap seed beads. Julie's saying she thinks the colors are great. I love the combination. I'm really happy with it as well. And the next color is the color where we change to sort of the turquoises. So I'm not sure if we need to add the dark green or more of the turquoise green, but I'm just going to finish this color. And then what we do, we get a little bit out of both colors and just try it in the gap. That's all we can do, and then I'll let you decide which one is going to be the best color. So I'm just going to go through next 2 just to be away for where I stepped up earlier. Can you believe this thread? Can you believe this thread? I go through it and don't be naughty. Right. And pulling it back through. Turn my thread around by coming to the same gem duo. So now I'm just going to grab this color, and what I'll do, have I got an open bag of that one? That's it. What I do, I just sort of add a few beads on this side. I like this color actually. I like this color. This is quite nice. So we're gonna add, that will be the next color going. That could be the next color going, or this darker green. So let me know which one do you think goes better. And I often, when I design something, it does go like this. I just pop it down on my mat and I just place the beads in there just to sort of deciding on colors, because sometimes it's not, you're not gonna see how it looks until you put it right next to each other, because it's proportions as well. Because like for example here, the further out you get, the larger the colors it gets because you're using more there. So that's the 2 color options. If we got this green, or we got this, well, they're both sort of, this one is more turquoise green and that's a really dark green. And the next color after that, and I'm just going to put this there because this is what it needs to link up with, is either this color and put another one there. It's going to be linking up with this color, or So what will be preferred? Ultimately we're gonna get to this color after that, so let's try this in as well. Now the first color, Lorna is saying I'm sort of leaning towards that color as well, because this is gonna be the last one what we see the most of. But we haven't fixed anything, we haven't glued anything down, we can change anything. Or I can decide to go back on my colors and use the color before and sort of ombre that way. Could do that one as well. We could, oh yes, what we could do, and that would actually work quite well. So the first row where there is 6 beads and the last row where there is 56 beads, they could be the same color, and as you sort of coming in, you repeating the colors, and then all you would need is just 5 colors to do the 10 rows. Or if you did 9, there would be only 1 in the middle, right? And then this one, I think this color, turquoise, Lorna is saying definitely first, Brenda is saying, Patrick's saying first. I think so too. I think we have to go with this color. This one is nice as well. Now I'm putting those next to it. That's nice as well, but it definitely makes it darker. Oops. Definitely makes it darker. So what do we think? First or second one? Definitely first. Yeah, I don't know. I like this combination too as well, because this one, this green fits, I think, nicer to the olive. This one really stands out. So it depends if you want to stand out or blend in a bit more. But let's go with the first one. You're saying first, let's go with going with the first. Just get these out. So you're gonna go with this lovely color here. Just gonna pop this to the side because you're gonna need this on the last row. Right, just take this here, and then these ones to come here. Just get them straight, come down, and we're gonna pop these green ones away then, out of the way. Lorna's saying first were both good. This is the thing, it's so hard to choose sometimes the which color you want to do, then they're all nice. So I'm gonna go with that first color choice. Oh, Christopher's here. Come and say hello, Christopher.
Hello. What are you making?
The coaster.
Oh, like that?
Yes.
They're in different colours.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
And off he went. So I'm very quickly going to whiz around here. And add this color. Oh, everybody's saying hi, Christopher.
Hello.
He did say hello. Simon is here as well now.
Mum.
I suspect they're going upstairs. Oh, don't forget that Simon has given us a voucher, which if you put CS10 in your checkout at Totally Beads, Simon said to me at dinner table, would you like a voucher code? I was like, oh yeah, definitely. Yes, please. You get 10% off of gem nail beads on Totally Beads. And the code is valid until Friday. Simon just whispered it to me. So that was nice of him. So if anybody wants to make the coaster, you can just pick up your own colors, whichever you choose, and you're gonna have 10% off of the beads themselves. It's always nice to have a little discount. Who won the game? I don't know actually. I don't even know what they were playing either. I'll ask later. The voucher is until Friday. So it's CS10 and it gives you, so Creation Station, CS10, and it gives you 10% off the gem dual beads until Friday. Right, I'm just very quickly trying to bead as quick as I can actually. No, I'm not going to. I usually flip-flop it around, so I'm always stitching away from myself. I got used to picking them up that way, so I don't want to confuse myself, especially at this time of the night. And into that one. Then I'm at the corner again. I think it's looking great. Yeah, maybe it's better we choose this color because it's going to show up. So there is a shading in there, but sometimes you need a clear divide to see it nicely. Oh, they're saying hi, Christopher. He's gone now. He's gone upstairs. But he's going to go and get ready for bed. Bless him. You know, like he's always been, like he gets up early. So since he was a baby, it was like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. max, and he would be up. And lately, at the weekends, he still gets up at 6 o'clock. But lately, during the week, he like, I have to go in and I have to wake him up from school. And it's something I never had to do because he used to come and wake me up. So I don't know, it is because he's like sort of, he's not a teenager yet, but like he's 10 because he's getting a little bit older that it's all sort of changing, or not really sure. So you're gonna go around. I lost the count how many beads in this one now. Is which row is this one? Lorna, did you keep an account of those? Now this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the 8th color. So is this the 48th one? No, 42. Is it? No, this is the 48th one. 48 beads in this row. I like the idea of 5 colors fading in and again. Yes, I might just use the same colors, these middle colors, because I really like these ones. I love these colors. I might just use these 5 colors and try it with those on another one, just to see how would that look. 48, yes. It's changed time. My son does not wake till 11 a.m. in the weekends now. So weekend he still gets up because he gets up and he goes on his oh, look what I just did. Look what I just did. My silly me. I'm just talking, and instead of adding 2, I just added 1. So I'm gonna have to pop back and add another one there. So the weekend he still gets up like 7 o'clock to go on his and play his games. He's quite good though. He's a good boy. He does what he's told sometimes. Yes, I missed the corner bead, Brenda. You should have said that like two rows before, or 2 beads before. And I'm very quickly just put it. See, you keep me on track, you lot. I'm just gonna go around. That's it. Right, come on, we don't have to beat fast enough because it's like 8:30 now. We've been here for an hour and a half. I'm sure you're all bored of me now and want to go on and do your own things. So I'm just going to beat as fast as I can to do this last two colors, because it would be nice if you can finish it together. Are you okay to stay? But then even if I finished live, I would be sitting here and finishing it, because if I don't finish it tonight, it would just sort of, I wouldn't finish it. So I always, like when I do a Facebook Live and I do a jewellery, but I don't quite finish it, I get 3/4 of the way through. After the Facebook Live, I would sit there and finish it, because I know if I don't finish it then I will get caught up with something else. So I would. Oh, Brenda's saying nothing to watch on TV. I don't know, I haven't watched TV for ages. I watch sort of things on Netflix, or we've got Amazon Prime as well, or iPlayer. I like iPlayer as well. We just watched The Bodyguard with Simon, which was alright. It was like, I think a couple of years ago it was on BBC. It was okay. I think I didn't really understand the end of it, why and what, but never mind. I finished watching The Crown last week as well. That was really great. And I'm actually looking for some new things to watch now. So we see. I like to just put something on in the background, something really easy to watch when I'm beading. So I'm not really listening to it, or not really like watching it. It's just there as a background noise, and then everything good, and all of a sudden, like, you know, if something happens, I would look up. I home educated my youngest child at the age of 7. It was Winter Olympics in Canada, so we lived on Canada time to watch it. Oh, really? That's I suppose a valid point. So if you are following an event like that, and then the times are different, then if you're watching it every day, your body would naturally adjust to that time zone. I'm the same, don't like radio, but have to have my crafting in front of TV. Yes, I don't mind radio, to be honest, and but like, since we got an Alexa, and you can just say, oh well, just put some music on, but I'm the most annoying person with it if somebody else is in a room as well, because I would go next, Alexa skip, and I would skip half the songs, and then you get back to the beginning and start playing all that sort of song playlist again. So I'm usually not allowed to put Alexa on when somebody else is in the room, for that reason, because I would keep skipping the songs. Right, I'm almost done with this color as well, and then we have the last color to add. I'm going to try in how it looks. Is that the last color? Are we on the last color? No, there is another one. That's right. I just put it to the other side and hid it away from myself. This is the 8th color, and we said we're going to do 10. Right, I'm just going to go through the next 2 and turn around. This, every single time when I come around to turn around, that's when my thread starts to get knotted up. I have heard Virgin River, think that's what it's called, on Netflix, is supposed to be really good. I will check that out. Has anybody else watched Virgin River? Do let me know if you enjoyed it. For me, the problem is if I start to watch a series, I'm the sort of, I think this is why I definitely got some sort of OCD, because if I start to watch a series and it doesn't matter how rubbish it is, I need to finish it. I just really need to watch it to the end and know what's happening in it. So, or you know, and sometimes if I stumble, I do read up about the series before I start to watch it, just in case if it's something what if I'm not gonna enjoy, then because I will make myself to watch it because I want to know what's happening at the end. Right, turn around, next color, quick, go. I'm sorry it's a bit of a longer make tonight, but hey ho, I'm going to try to go around as quick as I can, but bear in mind every single row we're jumping up 6 beads. It would be a fabulous focal for a bed. Absolutely, you could do all sorts of things with it. I'm just doing a coaster because we changed the lounge around, and I never ever had posh coasters. I have got some flowery ones for the table, where for the placemats, like the same sort of flowers on there. But for the lounge, I never ever. Did I miss one corner bead again? I did it again, look. I never ever had any posh coasters. I got the couple I had in there, I made them with mosaic. I went to on a mosaic from glass and then made a coaster there, and that's what we had in the lounge before. So these ones are gonna be my posh ones now. It's nice to do sometimes things what, like, you know, it's really an extra sort of, you put the effort into little details, and I think that's what. And if you think about craftsmanships going back, I don't know, hundreds of years, and you look at these older houses and how they used to carve the doors on wardrobes, or even just the doors like between 2 rooms, or how what all sorts of motifs and things they used to put in, and a item used to be considered as more posher or more expensive the more carving it had on, because obviously the master who made it would have to spend more time carving it if it was a larger piece and there was more carving in it, therefore it was always more expensive. So I like details sometimes in things, and I like hidden details as well. So having something like this as a coaster, it's just like a little hidden detail that you made it and it's functional. And but when we're gonna look at it, I don't think if I just have this on the side and somebody comes into the living room or my house and perhaps doesn't know I'm beading, everybody knows I'm beading, I suppose, because there's beads all around the house, but they wouldn't sort of straight away say that you handmade that, because it will look more like a commercial piece as well. Well, I hope, I guess, because you haven't poured the resin on the top of it. Oh, I have got a bit of an OCD about Coronation Street, Smuffy is saying. I have been rooting around YouTube to find all episodes to watch it from the very beginning. Oh my word, how many episodes of Coronation Street are there? They must be thousands and thousands, because I think, I know Coronation Street. So I came to the UK in 2000, 20 years ago. Can you believe it? I lived more in the UK than I lived in Hungary. And Coronation Street was on back then, so was EastEnders. So how many episodes of Coronation Street? Can somebody sort of Google it? That 60 years, wow. So was that did they used to do one a day during the week, or how many episodes is that? That must be thousands of episodes. I don't know if it's possible to catch up with that. The first episode were black and white, Lucy's saying. Could be. Been going for 60 years, Caroline saying. So when I was little, I remember, so I'm 40 now, and I remember when I was little, I must have been about maybe 9, 10 years old. Sort of Chris, 10,001 episodes. Wow. That's like, how long is an episode? How is it? 30 minutes, 20 minutes? How long is an episode? Do let me know. So when I was about 8, 9, 10 years old, that's when in our house at home, we always had a color TV. So I remember having a color TV. Look, I added an extra one in there now. But my grandmother and grandfather, they had a black and white TV, and I was about 8, 9 years old when I can't remember if it was Christmas or if it was their wedding anniversary. There was some sort of celebration, and all the family chipped in, and they bought them a color TV. And bless, like, this is going back, and this is like, you know, my grandfather was so amazed because, like, but bear in mind that he is from a little village, and I don't think he's been out much from that village. So for him, getting a color TV was a really eye-opening to see all the different cultures and all the different people and all what you know, what they wear, and he was glued to it. So from that point, whatever was on TV, it doesn't matter how rubbish the program was, they were watching it. And I know that their favorite program was Dallas back then. Oh, they used to love that, because I used to go and stay with them on the weekends, and in holidays I was always staying with them. I loved my grandparents. I love them so much. Some 30 minutes one, though the old ones were actually 30 minutes usually, but with adverts in. So when you're watching it back, or have they got it somewhere in the archives where you can watch it back? Lauren is saying, I like the documentary drama about Coronation Street, how it all started. Oh, I haven't seen that. I have to check that. I like these things. We had in Hungary, when I was little, we had a series which was went on years and years and years. And I think it was called, if I translate, it was called Neighbors or something like that. That was, I remember my parents watching. I never really got into that sort of oh, my mom used to do her ironing watching that. So bless. Yeah, that's my grandmother and grandfather loved. They did not miss an episode. And they were running a farm, so everything had to be done before 8 o'clock when Dallas started in the summer. Because sometimes you would be out sort of longer. But in the summer everything had to be done, and they had to be indoors. That went on for a few years. They show old ones on ITV3, but for the really old ones, you have to really search for them. You would think that they would make a hub or something that you could go back and watch them all. Maybe they haven't even got, they must, surely they should have it in the archives. Well, how long is, like, you know, ITV's archives go back? They might not have it all the way back. My dad had to watch it for our neighbor when she went on holiday to tell her about it. Oh my God, that's so sweet. So this is like, shows you, this is going back before the internet, before Facebook, before YouTube, before Google, before anything. That yes, if there's something on TV and you missed it, that was it. You had to go to somebody who watched it to find out what actually happened in it. I love that. They have them. They showed the first one last week for the 60th anniversary. Before videos, yeah. You sort of, I think, as the technology grows on us and then we're able to do more and more things. And now I popped into covers today because I was looking for some ideas what to, I still want to get something for, I got him something, but I still want to get something else. And we do like grilling, so I popped in to look at, like, they got a new grill out, but I didn't actually really like the look of it in the end. But anyhow, the newest thing, well, the newest thing to me, might have been around for years, I don't know. The newest thing to me now, you can buy a camera for your fridge, which you can link up with your smartphone. So when you're up and out and about and you are shopping, you're walking around Tesco's and you're thinking, have I got that one at home? You can go into the app on your phone and you can look, it's got a real live feed over the internet, what you got in your fridge at that precise moment. And I'm just like, wow. I mean, I don't know how people live without this one. I really sort of stopped there and thought for a second that is pen and paper not a thing anymore, that you can write down what you got or what you need. So yes, the newest thing is having a camera in your fridge so you can find out what you haven't got. Yep, we got our 10,000 steps in just turning over the TV channel. First one. OMG, did I miss something? Oh, they probably release a subscription service at some time, I'm guessing. Oh, well, you never know with them. TV channels. Right, pull this up. So we finished this color as well. I think that's coming to it. And now we only got one color to add. Yes, we are adding the last color now. So pop these away. I'm going to try it in first before I go in with the 10th color, because 9 actually might be enough. Let's just see. I would like to go to right to the edge, but I don't want the beading to touch the edge. So let's see. I don't know. I think if I add one more in, I might just get away with it. I might. Is this any bigger? I ordered 2 sort of selection. I ordered these ones, and I ordered. I mean, no, it's exactly the same size. This one. So it would be sitting the same as that. So I ordered 2 selections of these coaster shapes. One of them was all the hexagonal, and the other one, why is not sitting straight? The other one was like sort of got circles, and I'll show you. It's got a couple of circles in there. So I might do something with this with different beads. And the square one as well. I mean, to do something in square stitch or brick stitch, that would be, or like even peyote as well, but square stitch probably would be my first go. Would look really, really good in that one. Any stitch really, as you're gonna keep it in flat. That was for the camera. fridge. I would be catch me sneaking food. I've taken picture on phone of contents of fridge before shopping. Yes, I did that before. If in rush, can take check when in shop. Yes, I did that one before as well. That I take a picture and off I go. But I know all these things are, yes, they are there to make our life easier, and I know they are useful, and I know that we sort of need them, I guess, because they wouldn't invent them, and they wouldn't make them and try to sell them if they must have been a good idea sometime down the line. I just think from the point of view to actually, I'm gonna add the 10th row and we see what's just a few beads, and I will try in and see how's it gonna sit. But then just the point of view, I think how like our children grow up, for them having an iPad is totally natural. So not, or they would like, without, they wouldn't know what life is without a Wi-Fi, what a life without internet, or what a life without, you know, a smartphone or anything like that. I mean, when I was little, we had the calculator and that was it. And if you knew what were the numbers to spell hello on the calculator, you were really cool. I mean, that was a really cool trick, a party trick, what you could have done. But our children, they're not really, they don't know. And like, you know, it's, I always say, I grew up with playing with sticks and mud on the farm with my grandmother and grandfather, and I was 15 when we got our first computer. I think 14, 15, something like that. Right, how's that look? I think the color is so gorgeous, but I'm just gonna check it, double check it for size. I don't know, it might be a teensy bit too small, well, too big, if I add that row on there as well. I know it's gonna go upside down, and then it could look okay if this last row somewhat droops down, but I think if it's catching the edge, then it's gonna come out of the, mold, and then I don't want them to poke through. So we do need, I think we will need just a few millimeters on the edge where we haven't got beads. So if I put this bead to this side, I know it's going to fall in it, I think it's too much, so we're going to have to stop at row 9. So in that, if we're thinking with that, we can take any of the other color out. So, and that's it then. So I'm going to take this back, and it has to be 9 rows. So we don't need, what was the bead, Lorna? You can't do that. I think it was 270 beads we're gonna need. We don't need 330. It's 270 what we're gonna need. So that is 4 bags of, yeah, 4 bags will do your shape. Like quite big, but you didn't have to go this much. So that's it, one of them done. Now I'm gonna need to do, how many have I got? How did they all go? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I probably do this one as the 5th one. Maybe I do this as a present for somebody, so I'm gonna have to add another row in there and add another color on the side. I might add, maybe I add the same color I had in the middle, a bronzy color. I think that would look quite nice. So that will be the 5th one. So I'm going to do another 4 before next week. So when I pour it, I can pour a few together, because with resin, once you mix it, that's it. That you can always like mix a little bit more and add to it, but once you mix it, you're gonna have to use it up. What size is the coaster? So I've been taking stuff through to the other room, And I had a ruler here and I'm just looking, but I think it's gone. Let me just try to work it out with this. I pull this, I can pull that right out. So it is, so bead to the other bead, it's 92 millimeters, so 9.2 centimeters. Corner to corner, it's 10.2 centimeters, and the coaster corner to corner is 10.5, no, 11.5, sorry, and straight across it's 10.5. So that's the inside of the 270. Thanks, Lorna. That's the inside of the instead of your mold. So we see. I'm gonna make. So I'm gonna make. How many more do I have to make? I have to make 3 more because I'm gonna use that blue one as well to have one for each one, and then we can pour it. So as I said, with resin you can't. You have to once you mixed it, you have to use it up. That's it. There is nothing you can do with it. Where could I get a tape measure like that? So this is one of the electric calipers, but it doesn't work. So it's not electric anymore. It's just metric, and I have to work out. But you can see it, what size it makes up. But it's really great. I don't know where. I think this one's from work. Simon bought it somewhere, but I'll get you some links and I'll pop it up. We do have some just some basic ones for £1 on the website, and they do as well, but they're quite small. But when I was doing the baubles last week, I said to Simon, can you bring me one home so I can measure the baubles and exactly know how many millimeters are they. So obviously he bought the one home for me, which doesn't work anymore, so I can work with it. But and he kept the good one for himself. Bless him. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, thank you. I'm really chuffed with it. I really do like it. I think it's gonna look great. And all is left to do, I need to, before I work the middle off, this is when I just sort of turn it around and I pull this in. What direction that direction is, I'm going to pull this in, and that just tightens that middle bit up a little bit, and then it's going to be nice and flat. And I'm just going to work the end off. I could, if I wanted to, I could have a crystal bead in between these ones, or I could add a couple of seed beads and maybe 3 seed beads here to make it straight. Shall we just have a quick peek of that? I haven't got teal, right, teal. I've got aqua, it would be better. I've got aqua here. Let's just try. How would a couple of seed beads look in there, because that would finish off the sides nicely, so you wouldn't have this jagged edge. But I'm not sure if I'm actually gonna like it in there, so I'm gonna try. Actually, I don't even have to put the. I can try anyway, I guess. Stick the needle through. I often do this. Pick up a couple of seed beads and stick it through the next one. I don't know, maybe, but then there's a gap. You can see there's a gap underneath the seed beads, so it doesn't really cover. The less is more. Yes, absolutely right. Sometimes less is more. But until you try these things, you don't know. But let me just bring it up so you can see there's gonna be a gap underneath those seed beads, so it's not gonna look good. So I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna leave it just as it is, just the gem jewel beads themselves, because I think they are gorgeous. And you can't really see the thread path anyway. And once you pour the resin over it, it's gonna be like one piece. I like the edge as it is. Yes, it is. You know how many times I do this? I do a design and then I dress it up and do 3 different versions of it, and then I go back to the original one because that was the best one, what I liked at the first place. Right, my lovelies, it's 9 o'clock. Oh my word, we've been here for 2 hours. Do check out the website with the gem duos and take advantage. So if you were going to get any gem duos, do put the discount code in, which is CS10, and it's valid until Friday. Simon was kind enough to give us a discount code, so do use it and have a look. So 270 beads per one of these. I will get the link for this one and put it up for you to where I got it, from Amazon, which one I got, and then I think it was £6 for 4 or £8 for 4, something like that. It was really cheap. But I want to pour the there are so many different kinds, obviously, but I want to pour the resin in first and then see how, because sometimes you get, depending on what quality they are, they come out well or not. So I'm going to pour the resin first, and if it's good, then I will give you the link exactly to the one I got. So do you have a go at this one? Right, my lovelies, I'm going to go and see if Christopher actually made it to bed, bless him, or what he's running around upstairs. You never know. And I'm going to get ready for bed as well. It was lovely to have you tonight. Thank you for keeping me company. I'll see you this week some point. Have a lovely week, everybody. And if I don't, I'll be back next Monday, and we're going to be pouring the resin on top of it. But if I miss you, then have a lovely Christmas and a happy new year to everybody. Stay safe, everybody. Have a good evening. Bye.